Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are listening to Biafra Generation. Once again, I'm Chiamako Buzo, reporting from Biafra Generation Studio. It is a thing of great honor that I'm about to reveal a very powerful history that you have not been seeing online for quite long. Now, these are countries that supported Biafra. Which nation supported Biafra during the Biafran genocide? It's a question that people have been asking. It's a question that people have been wanting to know. It's a question that people have been wanting to talk about. You shouldn't mix this video and you share this video so that it will go viral. We're going to talk about the, I think, 5 or 6 nations who supported Biafra during the Biafran genocide. I'm going to read them accordingly. Tanzania was one of the nations who recognized Biafra in April 1968. The Biafran have now suffered the same kind of rejection within their state that the Jews of Germany experienced. Fortunately, they already had a homeland. They have retreated to it for their own protection and for the same reason. After all other efforts had failed, they have declared it to be an independent state. Julius Nyerere. Tanzania was first nation in the world that recognized the independence of Biafra. Tanzania took a humanist approach to the Biafran conflict. This decision put Nyerere at odds with most other African nationalists. So other African nationalists fought against him, and they never liked him because he supported Biafra. So Tanzania supported Biafra in April 1968. We have Haiti. Haiti recognized Biafra in March 1969. The profound and generalized resentment of Nigeria against Biafran, together with the will of domination of some nations, jeopardized the future of Biafran and threatened to destroy the glorious Igbo tribes, descendants of those men who contributed to the founding of the Haitian homeland. Francois Dovela. President Dovela expressed dismay at the massacre of over 30,000 people. He went further in his repudiation of Nigeria and claiming that it had never shown the distinctive mark of United Nations. You see that this beef didn't start today, and when we're talking about African leaders during the Biafran War, it is not just all African leaders that kept mute. We need to tell this history. We have Côte d'Ivoire, recognized Biafra in 1968. The Igbo are a Christian regard of the intelligence and ability against the southward movement of the Muslim and Arab population of West Africa. President Felix saw the Biafran conflict as a struggle between two rival systems, Islam and Christianity. He viewed Biafra as a microcosm of the emerging global problem. Less than 10 years after his death, tension between Christian and Muslim migrants from the Sahel erupted into the Ivorian Civil War. So, Côte d'Ivoire was one of the countries. They were one of the countries who supported Biafra during the Biafran genocide. And this is the third country we have read so far. Now we move over to the fourth country. We have Gabon. Gabon recognized Biafra in May 1968. We have decided that the situation that prevailed in Biafra was similar to the one we had experienced, with the only difference being that there was a genocide in Biafra that they do not want to acknowledge. So, in light of this experience, we have acknowledged Biafra. Omar Bongo. As part of broader international humanitarian airlift operation during the war, relief agencies evacuated 4,000 children from the conflict zones to Gabon and Côte d'Ivoire to protect them from the conflict. So Gabon was one of the countries who recognized Biafra May 1968. We have so many African countries who recognize Biafra because we cannot just be keeping silent as if Biafrans were standing alone. No, so many African presidents recognize Biafra as a country. So if you're a Biafran, you can move into their country without passport. They will allow you. Then we have Zambia. Zambia, yes, this is one of my favorite African countries. Recognized Biafra from May 1968. I do not know of any federation created and imposed by the British which has stood the test of time, and the Federation of Nigeria is no exception to this rule. Kenneth Kwanda. Zambia was dedicated to a policy of non-intervention in the internal affairs of other African nations as outlined by the Organization of African Unity's Charter. Zambia's surprise decision was inevitable, influenced by her own unhappy experience in the forced and unequal marriage that was Redosai and Nyasaland from 1953-1963. So Zambia recognized Biafra May 1968. One of the beautiful aspects of all this. We must get to understand the truth and the energy that these men have put across to make sure that Biafra is being recognized during their time. And one very important message I have for you guys this morning is that in Biafra lies the hope. In Biafra lies the possible means that everybody needs to continue with what he or she needs to deal with. Now, what about today? The question is, how many countries have recognized Biafra? Now and before, we have 5 countries. We have Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire, Haiti, what's country, Zambia, and the rest of it. This country recognized Biafra in 1967 to 1970 war. What of now? Do you realize our enemies who fought against us now? Let's start with the surface of Nigeria. The Oduduwa nation, they fought against Biafra. Benin Empire fought against Biafrans. We have the South, some countries in the South fought against Biafra. We have even the Benue State, the Jos, the Northerners, they fought against Biafra. But is it not surprising that now everybody is not fighting against Biafra? They are fighting against that particular monster. And I tell you today that the Nigerian who fought against Biafra will go 10 times, will suffer 10 times the fate that Biafra suffered during the Biafran genocide. Ask me how it's going to happen. Everybody that have been supporting them, they are now withdrawing from such support. And now, the message is getting to them clear and more clear on daily basis. We must understand that Biafra restoration is non-negotiable. No matter how you want to do it, no matter what you want to say, however you want to do it, Biafra restoration is unavoidable. And now countries like Ambazonia, countries around West Africa, even one of the countries that interviewed Nnamdi Kanu, such countries are now bringing people to understand that Biafra are not the enemies of Africa. They just need a nation on its own. I wonder when Africans will understand that seeking for freedom is not a crime. But very soon Biafra will tell them, and Biafra will teach them that seeking for freedom is not a crime. They have killed so many people in this struggle. They have killed and are still killing on a daily basis. As they're waking up today again in Biafran land, so many people are going to go down. Innocent people. I'm not talking about those with guns. Innocent people. But it's not going to stop that ideology. Biafra must live. Biafra must stay. Freedom must be given. Once again, I'm Chiamaka Obuzo and I leave you with peace and harmony. This is Biafran Generation Studio. Tune in.